no way I would
worse.
want to do that too. Oh man, look at this.
Oh, Jake, you good?
Nurse!
Jake,
Nurse, more morphine!
Oh my god.
I broke my back.
So guys, I'm in the hospital. I had an accident.
They're suing me for something I didn't do. Like, on God. It's just the most bullshit thing. And I literally had to pay them a lot of fucking money.
So if you're a fan of boxing, social media drama, or just plain chaos, get ready, because this story is about to take a wild turn. Jake Paul has finally come forward with the reason he's pulled out of his much-hyped fight with none other than Mike Tyson. And while everyone was led to believe Jake had some mysterious accident, left too bruised and battered to step into the ring, the real story might just be a whole lot crazier. Hold on to your seats, because Mike Tyson isn't buying it. Not even for a second. Yeah, you heard that right. Iron Mike's not here for Jake's sob story about his injury. In fact, he's gearing up to expose what's really going on behind the scenes.
Me too. I'm getting ready for you.
The problem child may be trying to pull the old injury card, but Tyson's not letting him off that easy. You've got to ask yourself, what's the real reason Jake Paul's backing out of a fight he practically begged for? Now, if you followed Jake Paul for any amount of time, you know that his antics are always high on drama. But this time, it feels different. This time, it's not just some publicity stunt or a trash-talking routine. Jake has been hit with the harsh reality of what it means to step into the ring with a living legend. And Tyson? He's not one to play games, especially not with his reputation on the line. So, let's back up a bit. Recently, Jake Paul delivered some heartbreaking news to his fans. He's pulling out of the fight with Mike Tyson, citing a freak rib injury. According to Jake, he suffered some kind of accident that left his ribs shattered, and now, tragically, he can't fight. Yeah, you heard that right. Jake Paul, the self-proclaimed king of YouTube boxing, is devastated. His words, not mine. The guy's practically throwing himself a pity party, tossing around words like devastated, as if he's auditioning for a Shakespearean tragedy. But here's the thing. Is anyone really buying this? Is this just another chapter in the Jake Paul saga where he hypes something up only to pull a last-minute surprise move? If you've been watching Jake for more than 5 minutes, this whole "I'm injured, I can't fight" narrative feels just a little too convenient. Don't get me wrong, broken ribs are serious. But the way Jake is selling this injury, it's raising a lot of eyebrows. Let's be real for a second. Jake didn't just leave it at, "I broke my ribs, I can't fight." No, of course not. He had to take it up a notch. In true Jake Paul fashion, he brought Mike Tyson's past health struggles into the conversation, specifically Tyson's well-known issues with ulcers.
Go on your little menopause break and postpone the fight, so yeah. What about that, dog? I was ready before, you needed a little break. Your tummy hurt?
Jake even went as far as to make comparisons between his injury and Tyson's past battles with illness, hoping to win some sympathy points. But hold on a minute. This is where things get awkward. Let's not forget how Jake reacted when Tyson had to take a break for his health back in the day. Jake wasn't exactly sympathetic back then. In fact, he was out here mocking Mike for postponing the fight, making snide remarks about how Tyson had to take a menopause break because his tummy hurt. Yeah, Jake, you really said that. Now, fast forward to today, and suddenly Jake's out here acting like he and Tyson are just two fighters battling health issues, and we should all feel sorry for him. It's almost like Jake's fishing for sympathy, like we're supposed to rally behind him because he's facing adversity. But here's where Jake's logic completely falls apart. Mike Tyson's health problems never stopped him from being an absolute monster in the ring. The guy fought through pain, both mental and physical, that most people could never even imagine. So, Jake, do you really think your rib injury is on the same level as Tyson's struggles? Yeah, not so much. As if comparing his injury to Tyson's wasn't enough, Jake took things a step further by suggesting that maybe the fight should just be postponed. You know, give his poor ribs some time to heal. In classic Jake fashion, he's spinning this whole thing like his injury is just as legit and serious as Tyson's past health battles. It's almost like he's saying, hey, if Mike got time off for his issues, why can't I? The audacity, right? But let's be real here. Something about this whole rib injury story doesn't sit right. The timing is weird, the way Jake's selling it is weird, and honestly, a lot of people aren't buying it. This isn't the first time Jake's pulled something like this. And if you've been paying attention, you know he has a habit of hyping himself up as the underdog, the guy no one believes in, only to pull off some last-minute surprise move that leaves everyone talking. But this time, this doesn't feel like that. This doesn't feel like the typical Jake Paul game. This feels more like Jake's trying to figure out how to back out of a fight without admitting he's scared of getting his head knocked off by Mike Tyson. Because let's face it, this isn't just another YouTuber boxing match. This is Mike freaking Tyson. We're talking about a man who's known for knocking people out cold on his bad days. So, is Jake really pulling out because of a rib injury? Or is he starting to realize he's in way over his head? I mean, come on. Stepping into the ring with Tyson isn't exactly the best way to keep all your teeth intact. Here's where it gets even better or worse, depending on how you look at it. Jake isn't even giving a clear answer about when he'll be back. There's no timeline, no real plan, just some vague, I'll be back soon nonsense. It's all smoke and mirrors with this guy. Broken ribs, cancelled fights, and a hope that maybe, just maybe, everyone will forget about this in a few months. But you know who won't forget? Mike Tyson. Tyson's not the type to let things slide. When Jake eventually does step back into the ring, those ribs better be ready because Tyson isn't going to go easy on him. But wait, it gets even more intense. Tyson recently appeared on Logan Paul's podcast, and what he said was way more than anyone expected. This wasn't some fluffy, feel-good, motivational speech about overcoming adversity. No, Mike dropped a bombshell that left everyone speechless.
They're nervous for your brother.
Really?
Yeah, unfortunately I have to fight and be that guy. I wish I could stop that guy. That guy haunts me. That's I wish I could stop that guy. I wish I could stop that guy. I wish that guy died, but he's here to stay.
He straight up admitted that he's afraid of his own violent nature. Yeah, you heard that right. Mike Tyson, the guy who's built an entire career on being the most terrifying fighter in the world, said he's scared of himself. Tyson opened up about battling some serious inner demons, the kind that come back to haunt him every time he steps into the ring. Tyson's confession was nothing short of chilling. He talked about the dark side of his personality, the part of him that's so dangerous, even he doesn't know what he's capable of when that bell rings. This isn't your usual, tap into the zone, motivational speech. No, this was something much deeper, much more terrifying. Tyson admitted that he wishes he could stop that side of himself from coming out, but it's something he's battled his entire life. Imagine that one of the most feared fighters on the planet is scared of what he might do when he steps into the ring. That's not just intimidating, that's downright terrifying. Now, picture this. Jake Paul was sitting right there while Tyson was saying all of this. Can you imagine what must have been going through Jake's head? Jake's been acting like it's all fun and games, hyping up the fight, posting on social media like he's untouchable. But then Tyson drops this bombshell about not knowing if he can control himself in the ring. Suddenly, this fight doesn't seem like such a good idea, does it? Here's the kicker. Tyson wasn't just on the podcast to mess with Jake's head. He was dead serious. For months, Jake Paul has been flapping his mouth, talking like he's got this fight in the bag. He's been throwing shade at Tyson like it's just another Tuesday. But what if, just what if, reality finally smacked Jake in the face? What if Jake is finally realizing that he's not actually ready to step into the ring with the human wrecking ball that is Mike Tyson? Because let's be honest, talking big is easy when your entire career has been built on social media hype and trash talk. But there's a point where all the bravado fades, and you're left with nothing but cold, hard facts. And the fact is, Jake Paul's recent announcement about his rib injury sounds like more than just bad luck. It's starting to look like the perfect escape plan from a fight he's suddenly realized he can't win. Maybe Jake's been watching too many of his own highlight reels, getting too caught up in the hype. But when you're staring down the barrel of a fight with Mike Tyson, reality tends to hit a little harder. Tyson's not going to let this slide. But here's the real question. Is Jake Paul genuinely injured, or is he just trying to save face? Is this a convenient excuse to avoid getting his head knocked off by a 57-year-old man who can still punch harder than half the active roster of heavyweights today? Because let's be clear, Tyson isn't going to let this slide. Not by a long shot. If Jake does decide to step back into the ring, he better be ready. Tyson is a man on a mission, and he's not just looking to win. He's looking to make a statement. And if Jake isn't careful, he might end up as the punctuation mark at the end of that statement. The fight world is waiting with bated breath. Is Jake Paul really going to follow through on his challenge, or is he going to keep hiding behind that rib injury? One thing's for sure, Mike Tyson is ready, and when he's ready, things tend to get dangerous.